Hi team, I hope you're all well. It is time to do my October TBR. This is coming in a little bit late. I've not long since got back from my holiday. I got back on the last day of September and I have been really struggling with jet lag. So filming hasn't been, I've managed to film one video, which was my large unboxing when I got home. But other than that, I haven't really had a chance to film anything else. I did film this and then changed my mind because I looked like shit in the video. So I have decided to refilm it. And since then my TBR has gotten wildly out of control. I was going to just tell you about the books that I have that I need to read for book clubs, etc. and then mood read the rest of the month. However, it's gotten wildly out of control because it's October and October always gets wildly out of control. So this is a possibility TBR. I want to read everything on it, but it's a possibility TBR because I'm not going to get the chance to read everything on it. I am going to be, the readathons I'm taking part in this month are going to be Blackoweenathon, which is hosted by Bree from Locked Booktition, and also Weekendween Monster Mash, which is hosted by Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte and Gabby from Gabby Reads. I'm not going to do my TBR for that specifically in here because I want to see what I get through first. There is like a coin toss prompt for that, which is at the end of the month anyway. So I will do a separate TBR for that towards the end of the month. So make sure you check that out. So I'm taking part in those two. I know that Spoopathon is happening as well. Now I haven't sat down and properly had a look at Spoopathon. My apologies, Spoops. I adore you dearly. I've been so busy with like the holiday and everything else coming up that I just haven't had a chance to have a look at it. So I'm gonna have a butcher's and see whether or not I can make it work. Like kind of does in lieu make sense in this situation while I'm going through the month. So we'll see whether or not I can make that work, but if not, go check Spoops out. She's awesome. I will leave a link to her in the description box down below. Spoops, I love you. You're amazing. So yeah, those are the readathons that I'm like aware of and that I'm kind of taking part in during the month. Blackoweenathon takes part for the whole month. Weekendween takes part towards the end of the month, Friday through till the Monday, I think, or the Sunday, I can't remember. It's over the last weekend of the month anyway. So I'm really excited. So I do have a selection of books here. The first two that I'm going to talk about, I've already read one and I'm halfway through another, so I'm going to just mention those very quickly. So I do have The Butcher and the Wren by Aliana Urquhart. I have read this one and I did enjoy it. Other than that, I'm not going to tell you anything else because there's a reading vlog coming your way about this one, and it's good. This is following a serial killer and a pathologist, and basically she's always known that there's been monsters in the dark, and the police that she works for are on the hunt for this serial killer. It's dual POV. We get the serial killer's POV and we get Wren's POV, and it's very good. The twist in here is really good. Just go into this knowing that it's going to be a series. I don't know how many books. I have seen so many reviews on Goodreads giving this a really low rating because the ending doesn't wrap up nicely, and they're giving it really low rating because they're not aware that it is going to be a series. So the reason I am aware is because I listened to the audiobook, which by the way is very good and I would recommend. I listened to the audiobook and at the very end there's like a conversation with the author and she does confirm that she's in the process of writing the second book for the series. So just go into it knowing that, but it's very good and I would recommend. And then the other book that I am partway through is In My Dreams I Hold Knife by Ashley Winstead. I am enjoying this one so far. I am currently on page 181 at the time of filming this, so just over halfway. I don't have long left. This is 6 friends, 1 college reunion, 1 unsolved murder. When they were at college, one of their friends, Hannah, was murdered, and they've come back to the reunion many years later, and Hannah's little brother's trying to figure out who it was that murdered them because he's convinced it's one of the people in the friend group. So far enjoying it, it's going good and having a good time with this one. Heard fantastic things. So let's go through possibilities on what I have here for my TBR for Blackoweenathon. I don't anticipate getting to all of these because there's quite a few on here, but these are on my radar, very high up on my radar as well. So I do have All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. I don't know a great deal about this one, but I do know that it's been read for Literally Dead Book Club earlier on this year. So on the back it says, in this fast-paced debut thriller, Wanda M. Morris crafts a twisty mystery about a black lawyer who gets caught in a dangerous conspiracy after the sudden death of her boss. Sounds intriguing. So I do have this one on here. I don't know whether I'll fully get through this month, or whether this will be one that I just kind of plod through throughout the month. It's a physical read. If it's incredibly fast-paced, I will probably get through it, but if not, we will see what happens with this one. But this one is an option. Then I do have Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I have had this on my TBR for a while now, since it came out, and I've been meaning to get to it. This is following a black father and a white father, 2 murdered sons, and a quest for revenge, essentially. Their sons were together, they have been murdered. Their fathers probably didn't treat them very well because of the fact that they were gay and together. However, they end up coming together trying to figure out what the hell's gone down with their kids, and they want to know what's going on. So it sounds very, very good, and it sounds like it's going to be one of those, you know, that probably hits you in the feels, and I'm here for it. Then I do have Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin. I picked this one up because I really enjoyed The Last House on Needless Street, and I wanted another book that kind of gave me the feeling of being in a fever dream, and I thought, what better book than a book called Fever Dream. This is about a young woman named Amanda who lies dying in a remote Argentinian hospital. A boy named David sits beside her. She's not his mother, he's not her child. At David's ever more insistent prompting, Amanda recounts a series of events from the apparent recent past, a conversation that opens a chest of horrors. Together, they tell a haunting story of broken souls, toxins, and the power and desperation of family. A chilling tale of maternal anxiety and ecological menace. Fever Dream is a modern classic. Samantha Schweblin's unforgettable debut is a prescient warning about our manipulation of the natural world and an unforgettable exercise in literary suspense. It sounds fascinating, and it is only short as well, so it's 150 pages. So I am hoping to get to that one. And then I also have The Deep, which is another short one by Rivers Solomon. I've had this one for a while. Bobby gifted me this one, so thanks Bobby for gifting me this one. And I believe that this is a horror mermaid book. Yetu holds the memories for her people, water-dwelling descendants of pregnant African slave women thrown overboard by slave owners who lived idyllic lives in the deep. Their past, too traumatic to be remembered regularly, is forgotten by everyone save one, the historian. This demanding role has been bestowed on Yetu. Yetu remembers for everyone, and the memories, painful and wonderful, traumatic and terrible, and miraculous, are destroying her. And so she flees to the surface, escaping the memories and expectations and the responsibilities, and discovers a world her people left behind long ago. It sounds really, really good, and I've heard good things. Again, a short one, 163 pages. Then I do have Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I don't know if I'm actually going to get to this one or not, but I really want to pick it up. I feel like this is the next one that I should pick up from her. I have all of her books, but this is the one following Gods of Jade and Shadow. Not as far as a series is concerned, but this was the next release book that she had. So I feel like I want to read them in release order, so I can see how her writing's going. The acclaimed author of Gods of Jade and Shadow returns with a mesmerising feminist reimagining of Gothic fantasy in which a young socialite discovers the haunting secrets of a beautiful old mansion in 1950s Mexico. I've heard incredible things, so I'm very excited to pick this up at some point. I do have My Arc of Bad Things Happen Here by Rebecca Barrow. This is a YA mystery thriller, and on the back it just says, this island is cursed, nothing is as it seems. Young women are being murdered, but the cases are unsolved. It's too much. I just want to leave it all behind and heal, but I have to find out the truth. A dark YA thriller from talented UK debut Rebecca Barrow, with a compelling queer, mixed-race, plus-size main character, perfect for fans of We Will Lie as One of Us is Lying Ace of Spades and asking for it. So I haven't gotten to this one yet. I can't remember when it came out, but thanks to Hotkey Books for sending me this one. So I would like to get to this one as well. Possibility. I do have Rise of the Jumbies by Tracy Baptiste. Struggles. Tracy Baptiste. This is the second one in the Jumbies series. The Jumbies' tail was long and twice as thick as an anaconda's. Its end coiled beneath her like a throne. Talk quick, she said, before I eat you. I did enjoy the first one in this series, so I am looking forward to that one. It is a middle grade. And then finally, I do have White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. I just read The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson while I was on holiday. I am struggling today. And I enjoyed it, and I've heard incredible things about this one. I believe this is like a haunted house. New York Times bestselling author Tiffany D. Jackson blends a chilling psychological thriller with her own modern take on a classic haunted house story in a novel that will have you wondering what lies beneath your own floorboards. I've heard great things, and I'm thinking of doing this for the audiobook prompt for Weekendween. So that's a possibility. So those are the possible books for Blackoweenathon. And then I do have the books that I have to get to for book club reads. So I do have The Shadow Glass by Josh Winning, which is for the JPEGs book club, which is mine, Gav's, Jade's and Pris's Patreon book club. And this is one following Jack, who's haunted by his father's failure. His father was a director, Bob, who poured his heart and soul into The Shadow Glass, a mesmeric fantasy film populated by puppets. It flopped, turning Bob into a self-pitying alcoholic. Jobless and mourning his late father, Jack returns home, a place overflowing with moving memorabilia and painful memories. But Jack's world is thrown into chaos when the puppets in the attic start talking. So begins a desperate quest to save London from evil creatures of his childhood stories. With fanboy Toby and studio suit Amelia in tow, Jack must confront the world of Shadow Glass and do his father proud. It sounds terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like a proper Halloween movie though, to be fair, so I am here for it as well. Then for my Patreon buddy read, we have the Sun Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This says, Hendrix has masterfully blended the disaffected housewife trope with a terrifying vampire tale, and the anxiety and tension are palpable. Cheeky spot on pick for book clubs. I'm here for this. Following Patricia Campbell, whose life has never felt small. Husband's a workaholic, her teenage kids have their own lives, her senile mother-in-law needs constant care, and she's always a step behind on her endless to-do list. The only thing keeping her sane is her book club, a close-knit group of Charleston women united by their love of true crime. At these meetings, they're as likely to talk about the Manson family or as they are about their own families. However, one night at the book club, a vampire joins and stuff goes down. That's about as much as I know. I can't bother to read the rest. Then I do have The Deal by Elle Kennedy, which is the first in the Off-Campus series. This is for not JPEG's book club, I've just done that one. For Literature book club, this is September's read. I haven't read it yet. The live show is going to be on Monday the 10th of October. So be there or be square. You've still got time to read it if you want to do so. This is following Hannah Wells and also Garrett Graham. And Hannah is very good at what she does at college. She's a very clever girl, and Garrett is a hockey player. However, he needs to keep up his GPA so he can continue playing, but it's plummeting. So he asks the help of Hannah for some tutoring. However, she needs his help as well with some tutoring in the bedroom because there's a boy she likes and she wants to make him jealous. They end up fake dating. And that's how that one goes. And then we do have this month's Literature Book Club pick, which is the Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon, which is a alien romance. Our main character, Georgie Caruthus, a human woman, and Vectil, an alien from another planet, fall in love. I don't know anything else other than that, other than the fact that it's really fast paced, so that's the other one that I have to read. And then I do have a selection. This is such a long TBR. I have a selection of Witchy reads I would like to get to. I don't think I'm going to get to these, but we'll see what happens. I've got Waking the Witch by Rachel Birch. Thank you to the publisher for sending me this one, who are hotkeys. This is like an Arthurian, it's a darkly spellbinding tale of female empowerment steeped in Welsh mythology and Arthurian legend. It sounds fantastic. I really do want to get to it. It's short as well, so there is a possibility, but I'm not sure. Then I've got The Witches in Moonshine Manor by Bianca Maris. This is a coven of modern day witches, a magical heist gone wrong, a looming threat. Sounds fantastic. Here for that. Then I've got Witchlings by Clarabelle A. Ortega, which is a middle grade. Can 3 witchlings do the impossible? I think this is to do with the fact that their magic, they're 12 years old and their magic is slowly disappearing or something. Oh, they become witchlings. They're stuck as witchlings and will lose their magical abilities for good. So they need to stop that from happening, I think. I have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I really want to get to this one. A warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. And then the other one I really want to get to is Wild is the Witch by Rachel Griffin, and this one is an immersive enemies to lovers contemporary fantasy standalone. I really do want to get to this one. I've been meaning to get to it for ages. And then I do have a couple of like shorter-ish reads. This isn't quite short, but I do really want to get to it. And some graphic novels. So let's tell you about these real quick as well. So I do have Hooky, which is a graphic novel, 2 twins, 1 prophecy, a whole lot of hijinks. Pretty certain that Jade's already read this and she really enjoyed it, so I do have the second one on its way to me as well. I'm anticipating I'm going to enjoy it, clearly. And then I've got Snapdragon, which is also a graphic novel. Snap's town has a witch, at least that's the rumour in reality. Jax is just a Crocs wearing internet savvy old lady who sells skeletons of roadkill online. It's creepy, sure, but Snap thinks it's kind of cool too. Snap needs a favour from the old woman though, so she begins helping Jax with her strange work. Snap gets to know her and realises that Jax may in fact have real magic and an unlikely connection to Snap's family past. Sounds interesting. Then I do have Garlic and the Vampire, which sounds adorable. Garlic feels as though she's always doing the wrong thing, no matter how much her friend Carrot and kindly witch Agnes encourage her. Garlic just wants to tend to her own garden, where it's nice and safe. But when the village of vegetable people learns that a bloodthirsty vampire may have moved into the nearby castle, they all agree that despite her fear and self-doubt, Garlic is the obvious choice to confront him. And with everyone counting on her, Garlic reluctantly agrees to face the mysterious vampire. With humour, heart and an unusual heroine, with more courage than she realises, Brie Paulson's debut graphic novel is a farm-fresh tale that reminds readers to believe in themselves and that strangers are not always as scary as they might seem. It sounds adorable. And I believe Garlic and the Witch is coming out very soon, so I'm excited for that too. Then I do have this very short novella called Halloween Fiend. I found this on Instagram yesterday and it's just been delivered this morning. Strange isn't a small, quaint town, it appears to be. It's haunted every night by a creature the townsfolk refer to as Halloween. Once the sun sets each day, Halloween emerges to collect its treats, a small live offering from each household. The residents comply because no one wants to be the target of Halloween's tricks. But the nightmare of residing in Strange is nothing compared to the yearly ritual Halloween demands of citizens on All Hallows Eve. It sounds so good, and I'm actually like obsessed with this cover. It's beautiful, so I'm here for that. I do have Dark Waters by Catherine Arden. This is the 3rd in this series, and The Small Spaces Quartet. Empty Smiles has just come out, but I don't know whether I'm ever going to buy that book because it's got a clown on the cover, so we'll see what happens. This is following 3, I think. Yeah, Ollie, Coco and Brian, 3 kids who find themselves in situations every single time with the supernatural. And they're always actually incredibly atmospheric, and I actually found Dead Voices really creepy. Like, incredibly creepy. Small Spaces was creepy as well, actually, to be fair, because they had the scarecrows. But this one looks like it's going to be set in the water. So, I have that. I've got October by Katia Balin. October and her dad live in the woods. They sleep in the house Dad built for them, and they know the trees and rocks and the lakes and the stars like best friends. They live in the woods and they are wild, and that's the way it is. Until the year October turns 11. That's the year October rescues a baby owl. It's the year Dad falls out of the biggest tree and goes to hospital. The year the woman who calls herself October's mother comes back. The year everything changes. A lyrical masterpiece about spreading your wings from the author of The Space We're In. This sounds good. It's called October. It's the only reason I picked it up, and I was like, I want to read it in October. And I know Jade's picking this one up in October as well as Dark Waters. So, twinning. And then the last two, I have Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shea Earnshaw, which obviously, you know, spooky season, Nightmare Before Christmas, Pumpkin Queen. Jack and Sally Are Truly Meant to Be, or Are They? That's all I'm going to tell you about that one. And then Slewfoot by Brom, which is a tale of bewitchery. It sounds very, very good. It's set in Connecticut, 1866, and it's following a woman called Abatha, who is a recently widowed, outcast, alone and vulnerable in her pious village, and she can only turn to Slewfoot, who is a monster, for some help or something. And it's got some really creepy paintings in it as well. Wouldn't mind reading that too. So that's my incredibly ridiculous possibilities TBR. I do have a few things planned, so I'm going to obviously do a reading vlog for Weekendween. I have a 24-hour Patreon readathon happening in October, so I will be doing that. So I do have a few things planned, but we'll see how I get on with this TBR. Now that it's in front of me, I feel absolutely ridiculous, but and I wouldn't mind you resting on a couple of books that I still want to read as well for this month, but I've chosen to not put them on here because I don't want to overwhelm myself, despite the fact that I am already overwhelmed. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, did you spot that I have an Elm Street t-shirt on? I got this in Tesco the other day. I quite like it, it's cool. Anywho, chat to me in the comments down below. Let me know if you've read any of these. Do you think I should prioritise some over others? Chat to me in the comments. You're taking part in any of the readathons that are happening in October. And if you want to let me know you're here but you don't want to chat to me, that's okay too. Leave a spooky emoji like Halloween, pumpkin, ghosty, Frankenstein, etc. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.